In this video, we'll show you how to assemble your new Agri-Fab zero-turn Snowblade. To determine your mower's compatibility, scan the QR code to see the fit-up chart. Insert a slider tube Part 2 into the hitch assembly Part 1 and loosely secure it with a 3/8 by 2.5 inch hex bolt Part E, 2 medium washers Part O, and a 3/8 inch nylock hex nut Part L. Do not tighten it yet. Repeat for the other side. Depending on your mower, the included spacer kit may be required to ensure the hitch mount assembly attaches without interference. Align the hitch mount assembly Part 1 and insert a 3/8 by 7 inch U-bolt Part 4. Align a mounting bracket Part AA and loosely secure it with two 3/8 inch lock washers Part N and two 3/8 inch hex nuts Part K. Repeat for the other side. Center the assembly and ensure the slider tubes fully extend past the U-bolts and then fully secure all the hardware. Align a brace tube Part 6 with the blade mount assembly Part 5 and loosely secure it with a 3/8 by 3.5 inch hex bolt Part G and a 3/8 inch nylock hex nut Part L. Repeat for the other side. Insert the assembly into the hitch mount Part 1 and insert a 3/8 by 5.25 inch hex bolt Part H, ensuring it passes through both brace tubes. Fully secure it with a 3/8 inch nylock hex nut Part L. Align the pivot support bracket Part 8 and the brace plate Part 7 to either side of the blade mount assembly Part 5. Fully secure it with four 3/8 by 2.75 inch hex bolts Part F and four 3/8 inch nylock hex nuts Part L. Align the sub-assembly Part 9 and the 48 inch blade assembly Part 18. Insert the blade pivot shaft Part 10 and secure each end with an 1/8 inch by 1 1/4 inch cotter pin Part V. Then insert a 3/8 by 3.5 inch hex bolt Part G through the trip spring Part X and thread a 3/8 inch hex nut Part K 1 inch onto the bolt. Hook the end of the spring onto the sub-assembly with the hook facing the blade. Insert the bolt into the hole at the center of the blade and secure it with a 3/8 inch hex nut Part K. Place the vinyl cap Part Q onto the end. Install one 5/16 inch jam nut Part J approximately 3/4 onto the threaded end of the control cable without a rubber cap or pre-assembled nuts Part 11. Then install another 5/16 inch jam nut Part J approximately 1/4 inch from the end. Insert the ball end of the control cable onto the bottom of the clevis lanyard fitting, Part U, and place the cable into the groove as shown. Place a spacer, Part R, onto the hole on the channel subassembly, and then align the clevis lanyard fitting. Fully secure them with a 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch hex bolt, Part C, and a 1/4 inch nylock hex nut, Part I. Insert the control cable into the tab. Some adjustment may be required after the blade assembly is completed. Align the channel subassembly into the assembly pivot support. Slide a large washer Part P onto the channel pivot pin, Part S, and insert it through both assemblies. Secure with a 3/32 by 1.8 inch hairpin cotter, Part T. Insert the lift handle assembly, Part 13, into the pivot support bracket assembly and secure it with a 3/32 by 1.8 inch hairpin cotter, Part T. Align the release grip assembly Part 14 and fully secure it with a 5/16 by 1.5 inch hex bolt Part D and a 3.12 nylock hex nut Part M. Slide the grip Part Y onto the assembly. Slide the lift handle tube assembly over the shaft of the lift handle assembly. Insert the end of the control cable into the clevis lanyard fitting Part U and place the cable into the groove. Adjust the inner jam nut on the control cable approximately 3/4 of an inch from the outer end. Insert the cable into the mounting tab and secure the jam nuts. Some adjustment may be required after the blade assembly is completed. Insert the 45-degree end of the blade pivot rod, part 12, into the hole in the blade pivot shaft and secure it with a 3/32 by 1.8-inch hairpin cotter, part T. Insert the 90-degree end into the hole in the lift tube assembly and secure it with two 3/32 by 1.8-inch hairpin cotters, part T. Secure the control cable in two places along the shift handle tube assembly with the nylon cable ties, part W. Insert 1 5/16 by 1-inch carriage bolt, part B, bottom hole. Insert 1 5/16 by 3/4-inch carriage bolt, part A, top hole. Align a skid shoe, part 19, with the blade assembly, part 18, two medium washers, part O, and two .312 nylock hex nuts, part M. Repeat on the other side. Align a 6-inch wear plate, part 17, with a 6-inch blade extension, part 16, and loosely secure it with two 5/16 by 3/4-inch carriage bolts, part A, and two .312 nylock hex nuts, part M. Repeat to create the other assembly. Remove the far right bottom bolt and nut on the blade assembly. Loosely secure the right extension assembly to the blade assembly with three 5/16 by 3/4-inch carriage bolts, part A, and three .312 nylock hex nuts, part M. Fully secure blade extension hardware. Repeat for the other side. Then fully secure the rest of the blade extension hardware. With the blade down fully, secure both sides of the skid shoe hardware. Fully secure the wear plate hardware.